Good evening, boys and girls. Happy Hump Day. Welcome to another live edition of the Highbury Squad. It is the night before the premiere of All or Nothing, but will it become something for the Arsenal? Here we go.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another live edition of the Highbury Squad. It's the night before Christmas, or is it? Welcome back in the house, my podcast brother from another mother, Mr. Super Kevin Campbell.
Squaddies, Sophie, hope you're well, everybody. Remember, after salute, hit the like button. No messing around today, because if the likes ain't up, I'm off. Trust me, I'm off. I ain't got time to be messing about with you squaddies tonight. Trust me. So hit that like button. Season's coming up in 2 days' time, and I've had a busy day. So don't mess with me today, or else, come on!
Brocket, Kev, we got the yellows and the reds ready.
Oh, yeah. Sophie's got the cards ready. The samurai's at her side. At ease, squaddies. At ease.
I hope everyone's had a good day. Super Kev is here. Thanks again to our partner this season, ZENITH Coins. By the way, Kev, it's off the hook. I've been inundated. Everyone wants a ZENITH coin, by the way. It comes with the certificate of authenticity. We're going to get some super exclusives here. We're going to announce it and show it in the coming weeks.
Do you know what I think we should do, Soph? I think what we should do is for maybe 50, the first 50 who order, they get yours and my signature with it.
I mean, yours for sure.
And what are you talking about? Yours and my signature with it, 50 only. So the first 50 that get in, get the signatures. So it's even more special. There you go.
I love it. We're working with our partners over at ZENITH right now, finalizing the Highbury Squad coin, and it is so sexy. It's going to be absolutely top notch. Tom Canton was showing off his coin that was gifted by Super Kev when we did the Hippodrome event, and then Lee Judges was running around his house looking for his coin, trying to show it off as well. Super Kev, they're just brilliant. And we gave away one last night to someone exclusively on Mike's, fantastic podathon.
Fantastic.
Congratulations to Mike, Kev.
Oh, incredible. So, as you know, I was joining from time to time when I had a little bit of time to come in. Luckily, I came in and Smudger was on. And Smudger was talking to Mike, mentioned the tickets and all that. It is like a currency, isn't it? It was funny.
Absolutely. Brilliant stuff. Also, Smudger was surprised that you're not all in on Eddie, but, he seems to be all in on Eddie. That exchange was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Seeing the ex-Arsenal legends.
I enjoyed that chat, to be honest, because as he said, at the back end of last season, Eddie showed something. And we agree he did show something. But I'm not all in because, as far as I'm concerned, Eddie's not the answer. If Gabriel Jesus, and I hope and pray to God he ever gets injured, do you think Eddie could be the one to keep us right in position? I'm not convinced. I love to be proven wrong, Soph, obviously. And that's where it is. Can he play with Jesus? Yes, he's proven already he can play with him. So be interested.
Real quick before we get on to tonight's subject, and is it possible? Do you remember when we spoke with Hilsey, David Hillier, and when things weren't going right, you were talking about why doesn't he play the 4-4-2? And then literally the week later, he adapts the 4-4-2. I know we're talking about a 3 at the back, especially with Saliba coming into town. Can Jesus and Eddie play together, or if they did play together, would it have to be in a 4-4-2 formation, Kev?
No, doesn't have to be, because when Eddie can play on the left, but he can play tucked in. So he can play a bit nearer to Jesus as opposed to being on the chalk. He can play tucked in, and we play kind of lopsided with Saka on the right. No full wide man on the left, and Eddie closer to Jesus. That's a 4-4-2. We could play that way. That 4-4-3, we can play that way with Saka, as I said, on the chalk. So the permutations are there. The difference in personnel, we can alter the system to the personnel we have, depending on who we play. So it's going to be interesting this season how Eddie's used, to be honest.
So real quick before we kick off here, let me just check the chat, because I'm seeing someone saying sad news. I'm jet lagged and have father. Okay, so Demsek, one of our OGs here, we're sorry to hear about your father-in-law.
Sorry to hear that, Demsek.
Sending you lots of love, mate. Yeah, lots going on in a lot of people's lives. So just know the Highbury Squad are always here if you guys need a chat. Right, Kev, I've been dying to talk to you about this stuff. Okay. I'm not going to go supersonic. You know me this season. I'm going to be Zen Sophie.
Yeah, all right, Sophie. Just start as you mean to go on. Don't tell me that.
Oh, they're already having a go at us, Kev. It started this morning with Alan Brazil and Ali McCoy.
Love it.
This man is under severe pressure, in my opinion. Yesterday was the premiere of All or Nothing, the red carpet rollout. I've organized quite a few of these in my lifetime, that's for sure. We got KT, we got Double T, we got Mikel, we got Ben White and Emil joining the gaffer on the red carpet. The clips are out, Kev. There's several of them. I have to say the lip reading one I thought was hilarious. I absolutely loved that as part of the promo for the Amazon.
Good fun, isn't it? It's good fun.
It was, and you know what made me laugh the most was Saka on his second round. He's like, hey.
And he got it complete. I mean, it wasn't even close. He got it completely. Completely brilliant. It was very.
Do you know what else I loved, Kev? The most out of it is we knew that this guy had shithousery about him, but the fact that he was trying to cheat and win the lip reading competition
was doing all sorts, wasn't he? Hey, he's a typical goalkeeper. They're balmy, mate. They're balmy. So, but brilliant to watch.
I thought it was brilliant, and yeah. So let's get stuck into this a little bit. Before we do, I've got some housekeeping stuff which I'm going to do at the end because Kev's got to duck out because he's got another gig happening as well. So you're welcome, Demsek. You just keep us informed as to what's going on. So Kev, everyone's at it already. We've seen the whiteboard clip, of course. We've seen the so-called brawl in training. I want to start with this one because this is nothing new, is it?
No.
Players going at each other in training. You've been there. You've had to be a captain and put players apart. You had to kind of step in at West Brom and basically save that team. And then also you were the young'un coming in when the Arsenal hierarchy were flying high at their best.
And I was still keeping players apart as a youngster. It was unbelievable.
Take us behind the white lines on this one because, I mean, this stuff happens all the time, does it not?
All the time at every football club, this happens. You're in a competitive environment and things are going to happen in training. Sometimes, do you know what, Sophie? Sometimes players get up on the wrong side of the bed, just like everybody else. And they get into training and what maybe one day, the day before, was acceptable, the second day, they're not accepting it. So a tackle might go in the first day and then let it go. And the tackle goes in the next day, and the next day they're gonna respond, and it happens as long as it doesn't get too personal. You know, you get in the way and you split them up and you let them blow off a little bit of steam. That's fine, and There's nothing new. It's good to see. It's really good to see. Because do you know what? We've said sometimes we lack a bit of fight and all that. It's good to see them fighting in training.
I do like it. I have to say.
I've got to say it's good.
Hi, Jared, our good friend from the Gooners podcast. I'm surprised you're awake. I thought you guys would be sleeping for 2 days after the extravaganza. Thanks for joining us. You'll see Jared on the show this season too. So, Kev, have you seen it get really personal? Like when you say, like, did they start having a dig at?
Well, look, I mean, it's well coveted. I mean, I
John
don't
Hartson.
I don't want to go too deep, but when you saw what happened with Berkovic and John Hart's, that's real that was bad. You know, fair enough, you could grab him up and all that kind of thing, but what happened there was terrible, really.
Too much.
I'm sure, I know Hart's. I'm sure he regrets it because he wouldn't want to do that, but heat of the moment. You need to get somebody in the way, and nobody wanted to get in his way, obviously. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What I hope, I don't think this Arsenal team would do it, but one of the worst things I've seen was the Dyer Lee-Bowyer on the pitch brawl. You've never seen that. Have you ever had to separate your teammates from anything like that, Kev?
Not in a game. There was an incident that happened way back under George Graham, early George Graham days. And I was lucky enough to be training with him, and something happened on the training pitch, and it was real personal, and I mean real personal. But it wasn't just one player, and this is where the togetherness comes in. It wasn't just one player. It ended up about 20 against 1 in the end because somebody done something that even his own teammates didn't agree with. So it was like everybody en masse, like, and you know, I looked over at George Graham. Never forget, I looked over at George Graham, and he just looked. Him and Theo just looked away. Let the boys deal with it, and it was dealt with. It didn't get too personal, although what was said was personal,
right?
And it got dealt with, which is how it should be.
So it was like one of those baseball brawls where they clear the benches and they're all like, well in there.
Thing is, it was a practice game. It was a practice game, and I was playing in the second string.
So George used to let you guys sort it out? He never, if it was player to player, would he always just let you guys sort it out?
Yeah, we'd sort it out most of the time. Tony Adams and the boys would sort it out. But this one, like I'm saying, it was like there's 22 players on the pitch. And there's like 20, there's 19 players on, like coming towards one. Like it was like, what's he gonna do? You got the 2 goalkeepers, and even one of the goalkeepers was coming out. I mean, it was mayhem, but it obviously in the end, you know, it got calmed down.
Goalkeepers don't need much, do they, to get involved?
Oh, they're all balmy. I'm telling you, they're all crazy. They're all crazy.
Okay, so let's talk about this because it's much anticipated. It premieres on Amazon Prime tomorrow. Some of our good friends have seen the first 3 episodes. I can't reveal who, but they say the first episode is really engaging. The second episode, they felt like maybe was a bit of a filler, but then it really kicks in on episode 3, and a lot of things start coming to fruition. Kev, we've built such this, and I was sitting here thinking today, and I was like, I want to ask Kev because he's been so part of success, but also distractions, right? And distractions can be a bit of a weight, an anchor on a young team, especially. It seems like Mikel is very driven. You can see it in the clips. He's like one-track mind. Doesn't seem like a lot is going to derail him. He's got his convictions and his beliefs. We've built up all of this equity, this happiness equity that I like to call it over the summer. Even though the season ended poorly, the way we didn't want to, the fans did come together during the season. And that machine and that swell continued, as we've discussed, during the off-season, during the Arsenal America tour. Is there a possibility that once this starts airing, and it's already started happening, that it becomes more of a distraction in the release than it was while they were actually making it? Are you concerned at all about it becoming the dartboard for the media and opposing fans?
Oh, the dartboard is going to happen because we're the Arsenal, Sophie. That's for sure. The dartboard is going to happen. As you said, you've already heard Brazil and all these guys going at it already, you know, mocking anything to mock Arsenal. That's what they're going to do. They're going to try and use it. But you know what? I welcome it, Sophie, because where we were and where we are two different places now. This is some of the stuff that had to go on to get us to where we need to be. We didn't quite get there in the end, and I agree with you, Soph. That was disappointing in the end. And I'm sure the boys were very disappointed. But, you know, out of some pain can come a lot of good. And we're seeing let's be honest, we're seeing a different Arsenal right now than we did at the start of last season. So for us fans, it's going to be really intriguing. It's going to be great to watch. How did Arsenal get from there to there?
Mm-hmm.
And there's going to be some pain, and there's going to be maybe some weird moments for us. But look at the bigger picture. You know, the manager knows what it takes to get there. He wants us to get there as quickly as possible. And sometimes you have to think out of the box in some of the things that you do. And I'm sure we're going to cover some of the stuff that's gone on.
Yeah, yeah. I wanted to put this comment up for you from Sandal. Important that the squad is not affected by the Twitter regime during this season. Media will be all over it. Remember we talked to Callum Chambers during the summer series, Kev, and we asked him about, you know, the early days of the AFTV, the Bellerin stuff. And Callum kind of laughed it off a little bit and said they talk about it in the dressing room. You've been in the dressing room. And then there are teams that use that stuff as dartboard material. I recommended, so I loved watching The Last Dance like everybody, and then the Tom Brady Man in the Arena. And now I'm watching The Captain with Derek Jeter, the New York Yankees shortstop, who's an absolute legend. And every single one of them, Kev, the consistent narrative is this: I take it, I put it, I pin it, and I use it.
Take it in.
And over again.
Use it as fuel. You've got to.
Now, they're winners and they've been winners. And, so, you know, some of these players have won the FA Cup and stuff, but it is a new team. Are they there yet to be able to do that, do you think, Kev? When you were younger, you had this guidance from, you know, the senior players in the Arsenal team. Then when you were at Everton, you were the man. You know, when you were at West Brom and you saved them from relegation, you were the man. Is this team ready to be able to pin it, do you think?
I think they are. I think... Sophie, you remember we spoke about the team in '87 that won the League Cup, and then the next season lost the League Cup final. And I said to you, that was the catalyst for everybody to come in with a different mindset. And you could see this pre-season. I don't know it's pre-season, but you can only beat who's in front of you. We're going to find out a lot. Tough game at Palace on Friday. But the attitude, the aggression, you keep hearing me say until you probably drive you mad, Sophie. When these guys cross the white line, they have to do it. And it's not just, you know, you can't turn it off and on like a tap. It's got to be game after game after game. And we're seeing them trying to do the right things all the time. That's all we could wish for, Sophie. That's all I hope for. It won't go right all the time. But that hunger, that togetherness, that devilment that you need to win, because you know what? It is all or nothing if you want to win. It is all, especially if you play for the Arsenal, it is all or nothing. There's no middle ground. There's no, it's coming second. You're nowhere. That's why it drives me mad when people mention all these top four like it's success. It isn't success. It's not.
You know, so I spoke to Perry yesterday, and we were talking, you know, about you, and we were talking about on Mike's show, and he mentioned, we talked about the almost invincibles, right? That season. And we were talking about modern day Arsenal and players, and he's saying exactly the same you are, Kev. This is the University of Arsenal. You know, he talked about when you guys would be walking through the airport or going to a game, you wore your suits, you had your tie on, you had the badge, and he kept, reiterating, we just wanted to win, and you didn't care about what was going on around you. Even he told the funny story of when you lost Tony and he actually would want you to kind of have drinks and you chose to go for drinks near the prison. So it's just like the whole, it seems like there's character in this team. They're not there yet, but what Perry was talking about was character, motivation, winning, but you guys were always able to pin it. And I think that's what Mikel Arteta is trying to bring back.
Sophie, it's taken a bit of time to get it to this stage. Let's be brutally honest. People talk about the Unai Emery squad and all that kind of thing. They had good players, but the feeling between the fans and the players wasn't quite there. We couldn't rely on that team. That was a team, after 20 minutes going to some of our biggest rivals, the game was over. If we want to be challenging and we want to improve and we want to be that team who can pin stuff, like you heard from Grovesy, like you heard from me, we have to develop that within. We have to develop that within the club. And so I'm sure we're going to discuss the photographer.
Okay, Stuart. So here it is. I have it right here. Stuart, who was given the pre-match speech before the North London derby where we won 3-1. Arsenal fans going nuts over this. Today he's hugging Saka afterwards. It's not that long. It literally talks for like 59 seconds. Throw some F-bombs in there. But I understand. Now, look, Kev, you know me. I'm always going to just tell it. Have I heard better speeches? Of course. But I understand what Arteta's trying to do. And I get why he chose Stuart in that moment. He can't pick a fan to come in the dressing room and give that speech. You would all go in there guns blazing and want to do it. Like, I would love that opportunity. He doesn't want an ex-player coming in to do it. He wants them to know what it means to the people sitting in the seats. Can you talk me through this one a little bit?
Yeah, well, Stuart's been there a long time. I remember Stuart being at the club. He's a fan. And here's the funny thing. So if he's a fan first, he's a fan first. And I think that's why it's relatable to a lot of fans when they hear it. I put it on social media today, and I tagged a lot of people. I think I tagged you in Highbury Squad, Hillsy, Judges, Kenny Ken, all the boys and stuff. And everybody's come back, and it's the feeling that you have when you hear it's not going to be polished. It's not going to be sparkling, but it's going to hit you where it matters. And I think getting that hook into the heart, Soph, is very important for Mikel Arteta with these young players. Yeah, he's brought them in, and some of them came in under a cloud and da-da-da. But you know what? They've all seemed to have bought into the Arsenal. So to hear that coming from Stuart, the photographer who's been there donkey's years, that's how much it means. And he's close to the team. But that's how much the F-bombs were there, as it should be. It's a working environment. And that's how it should be. And you know what? I'm proud to see that, Sophie. Honestly, I'm proud to see that, because I didn't know that happened. But I'm proud to see that.
So something you've been saying on the show for a while, Super Kev, and Perry also talked about it yesterday, was this connectivity, right? One of the things that you've always said is when you came in, you were taught what it is to be part of the Arsenal. You were taught the Arsenal way. And we all know, and we've talked about it ad nauseum, that the Arsenal way had been lost over the last few years of Wenger, and in between this, I think, last season. And Perry was saying, we were talking about who's that going to be. And players like Bellerin came up because he had been the longest tenured player there. Then they were asking if Xhaka's that person now. And then someone mentioned Rob Holding. And I was like, it's Mikel Arteta. And again, to me, he's got a lot to prove as a manager, but as a connector, as someone who's bringing something together, bringing people together, whether or not he'll be able to close the deal, the point is what he's doing now. So for me, I think Perry talked about Robert Pires when he came in, and of course you had Freddie and all that. But he's the one that's teaching them the Arsenal way now, is he not? Do you need a better example than him, who's captained the team, lifted the FA Cup, and knows? And it really does. It's indicative that it means something to him, which he can translate to the players.
100%. So, and the fact that he's been captain of Arsenal is huge. Like I said, you're the first person that people see. You might not be the best player, but you're the first. When you wear that armband, you're the first person. You're the spokesperson. You're the mouthpiece. And he's probably come into the club, and he probably didn't recognize what's going on. So he probably didn't realize how bad it was. Because let's be honest, the way we feel about Arsenal now, 2 years ago, we didn't feel the same way about Arsenal. No chance. We didn't. We were disjointed.
That's true.
2 years ago. Even a year ago, we were starting to, there's a few players we like. Remember a year ago, until we lost the first 3 games, and then he started bringing in the younger players, spending the money, bringing in the younger players, and then it was the Norwich game, and then Burnley, and then Spurs, wasn't it? So that's where we won 3 back-to-back games, and we started to, okay, all right, we started to get that. But now, I think we like this Arsenal right now. We like what's going on. We like the new players that have come in. We like the extra quality of the players that have come in as well, Sophie. So there's players last season who were doing it, like a Smith Rowe, who we've not really even discussed. We've not even discussed Smith Rowe because he's not been around. But there's more. We've got more quality there now. Now our squad is going to be a lot bigger. Yes. Do we still need a few players? 100%, Sophie. We always want a few more players. But I like this squad, and I like where this squad is going right now. And if it wasn't for Mikel Arteta, Sophie, I don't think we would be at this point. And yeah, we haven't really achieved anything yet. But I think the first connector must be team and fans. That must be the first connector.
This is a clip from the show, of course, Aubameyang features, and we're going to see how that all plays out and rolls. The fans definitely loved him, and you're right, Kev. The fans are definitely more united, and it's absolutely because of performances and players like this. Our fans were amazing last season. I have a feeling they're going to crank it up another notch this season. Excited to see what this fella's going to bring to the table. I think we're all beyond excited about this. Do you think with the show, and I'm hearing a lot of people in the media, even we did on our predictions show, some of us had Arsenal finishing 3rd. I think someone had them 2nd. There was only one that maybe had us finishing outside the 4th, and we all know who that is. Are we being overhyped? Are you worried, Kev, that not that we're overhyping ourselves, but others are overhyping us? You know how we talk about maybe Spurs' transfer window is a bit overhyped? Are they being overhyped? Is it because of Antonio Conte? If they lose Kane or Son, who are injury prone and can go out for a couple months or a month, are we being overhyped?
No, I don't think we are. Listen, without the quality players that we brought in, we just missed out on 4th spot. Just. And this is with losing the first 3 games of the season. With a young squad, new players. We're not overhyped. We've brought in, listen, we've played virtually 18 months without a full-time striker of note. Lacazette done a bit, Aubameyang done a bit within the 18 months, but we've never had anybody we could rely on week in, week out up there. Now we've brought Jesus in. We've got Vieira, not sitting yet, but, he's going to be a player. Brought in Zinchenko for obvious reasons. It's a long season, and I'm sure he's going to dovetail from left back to midfield at times. I'm sure he is. Listen, we've got more players. Saliba's come back ready, confident, looks the part. That's 4 players that make us better. Now, 4 players that make us better than we were last season. And we went so close. Listen, at one stage, Sophie, with about, 7, 8 games to go, we were chasing Chelsea down in 3rd.
Yeah, we were.
So, again, if we are stronger now, we've got to back ourselves. So, I don't think it's overhyped. Yeah, we still have to do it. That's always the hard part. But football's a hard game.
And so I think Ramsdale's the one that quoted it. His quote's come out from the show, hasn't it? People think football's easy. It's just not. It's not that easy. You know, it's absolutely not. Our show's brought to you by Zenith Coins. We're going to have a great relationship with these guys during the season. Exclusive coins being made for the Highbury Squad. Stay tuned. We're going to be giving away a bunch of these during the season. They are the official licensed partner of the Arsenal Football Club. And we are so proud to be associated with them. Thank you to the guys over there. Kev, I found this at the grocery store and I bought it. Call me sad, but I couldn't resist. I don't know if you have them in England.
No, you need to stick a Brazil sticker in there as well. Just hold it. You could be holding the Brazil sticker.
It's the Sacred Heart of Jesus. And I came home and Tony's like, what is that? I said, it's my Jesus candle and I'm going to light it on Friday. And I can't wait. And I was actually thinking I needed to superimpose Gabrielle's face. You know, not sacrilegious in any way. But
no, but you need to stick Gabrielle's face or image in there.
Yeah, right. So who knows? It could be a new merch item for you this season, people. By the way, go to our store on the YouTube channel. You'll see a whole bunch of stuff there. And what we sell, we give away to our charities, Gooners v Cancer, and we're going to give it to our artists in our community who have been featured on the Talented Gooners as well. And there will be a special discount for you that we'll announce towards the end of the week. Kev, I have another one for you here. I want you to tell me if you were in the dressing room during this whiteboard situation. Again, it's been a little overblown, perhaps. I love the story. I love how Mikel shared something very personal with his team. I'm not sure if you had managers who shared personal stuff. Kev, can you take us into the dressing room and tell us how this would have gone down? Is this something that maybe wouldn't have gone down so well back in the day, but with the modern day player resonates more? I think our players maybe understood it a little bit more after this particular performance and match.
I think the important part back in the day was there'd be a lot more F-bombs floating about. Because what the manager wants is a reaction. And modern day football is a bit different than it was back in the day. On the pitch, I don't think it's that much different. It's all about good players and attitude and all that and scoring goals. But off the pitch, I think the modern player, you know, doesn't respond to the effing and blinding as much as we did back in the day, which I get. But one thing I will say, so a manager has to do whatever he has to do to get a reaction. Telling a story like Mikel did and having some personal stuff in there, etc. He's got to know what appeals to his team. He got the response and got the result. But as a manager, that's what you have to do. To get a group of men to follow you is very hard, especially multimillionaires. to get multimillionaires to follow you and hang on every word is very difficult. And we know some did, and we know a few didn't. That's one thing we do know, Sophie. But again, that's part of the manager's job, is to get that across and work out, because he's still working out who's in 100% and who's not. So all of these little things, this gives us an insight, fans, squaddies. This gives us an insight when we could look in the dressing room, we could look at the faces and we could look at the reactions to see who's in and who's not. And then when things happen after, we're going to realize, all right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we all have an opinion on the outside, Sophie, but when you actually see what's going on the inside, the inner sanctum, that's why These all or nothings are good. You get to see the inner circle. Then you're going to see how people are, the attitude that people have. Because listen, this is no joke. Football's a serious business. It is a serious business. And if you're the Arsenal and you're in the serious business of trying to be a winner and try and be successful, you've got to take everything on board.
No, well said, Kev. And, I think there's going to be players that have been doubted like Ben White. And from the clips I've seen, I think people are going to be surprised maybe how aggressive he is. I'm looking forward to those little nuggets. I loved seeing the tantrum here where he went a bit nuts and started throwing the bin where you put your dirty stuff in. I enjoyed seeing that. And of course, little clips like this, there's going to be the Aubameyang, there's the tantrum, there's the brawl, there's the Xhaka moment that everyone's looking forward to seeing as well. I've got to ask you this one. And by the way, we got 10 minutes left here with Super Kev. If you want to get any questions in real quick, let me know. But on this final
How many
piece,
likes? How many likes?
We've got 400 in live chat, Kev, and I believe we're at 160, but our chief like officer is in the house and will let us know.
Come on, guys, sure. Get that up.
And Newman is already grooving for a yellow card this season. It might come towards the end of the show. Kev, okay. I officially have one cringe moment.
Go on.
What is the "you'll never walk alone" speaker situation about? Now, having watched a ton of American sports, you and I know that NFL teams train with noise.
Do that all the time.
All the time. And that's because on every single play when you're away from home, the fans make a tremendous amount of noise. That one felt a little bit flat, did it not? And that's what spawned the conversation this morning on TalkSport and has got the media going and, of course, has got opposing fans going. I've been part of films and worked with filmmakers, directors, producers, studio executives where sometimes they have methods that are a little insane and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're genius. What are your thoughts on Mikel's idea to bust out "you'll never walk alone"?
Like I say, the manager has to try whatever he has to do to get a reaction, to get under the skin of the players. Because you know what? If that happened and I was there, I would hate it. So
glad you're being honest about that.
Yeah, no, I would hate it in the sense that we're listening to something of this opposition who the target's on their back. I don't want them in our training ground. So it's there to wind the team up to get them to respond. If you want to be the top team, Sophie, these stuff doesn't happen in your building. Do you understand where I'm going? If you're the top team, you never play anybody else's anthem in your building. But the fact of the matter is, you're not the top team. It's like the first time where George Graham spoke to us, I was a youth team player, about Liverpool. It was 10 minutes on Liverpool, Sophie. 10 minutes. And normally you'd think he'd be talking about the Arsenal. He was 10 minutes on Liverpool because he said, listen, that's the team we need to take down. So I see this as a part of that. I see this as it should get the players wound up. It should. It should make the players think, I don't like this. It should make them snarl. But it's all part and parcel of the building block, Sophie, to get you up. Some people won't like it. Some people are always cringeworthy. Oh, listen, I get it. But those who have been in the trenches know managers have to do whatever they need to do to try and get that reaction. They do.
This is what I like about, and I agree, Pat, people forget that he played for Everton and he hates them from all sorts of perspectives. Forget about being an Arsenal manager and fighting with Klopp on the sideline. It comes and stems from, of course, his Everton days as well. But I love the fact that we can talk to you about this, Kev, because George Graham did make Liverpool like the public enemy number one. He made them also the model to be as a team in terms of winning. And that's the juxtaposition I wanted to kind of present today to our listeners, where maybe it's a cringe moment and it didn't work, but the idea behind it, I think, was there. The execution was just really poor. And also remember that speech George Graham gave you lot, where you're all sitting and he's talking about targets
after Man United.
Yes. I mean, how much of an impact did that have on you lot? What did you lot do after that? What was the first thing you did?
Sophie, the funny thing about where you say play you never walk alone didn't work, it had the desired effect. The team weren't ready to take the king down. The team haven't been ready to go to Anfield to beat them. The team haven't been ready to go to City and beat them. But what you've got to keep doing, you've got to keep building that foundation on this is another team who are in this building that we've got to take down. Because whether we like it or not, there's two of them. There's City and Liverpool. Because if City don't win it, Liverpool are going to win it, and vice versa. We know that. So there's two of them. So the game was against Liverpool, so he put Liverpool right in the faces of the players. When George Graham had that talk, everybody could see it on YouTube. It's legendary. He was reinforced while he was kind of having a go and saying you can't fight on the pitch and all that kind of thing. We've just been deducted 2 points. But if you really listen to what he was saying, he was reinforcing that it's us against the world. It's us against them. All of them out there want to see us fail. You know, 2 teams were involved in the brawl and we get docked 2 points and United get docked 1. They don't want us to win. They don't want the Arsenal anywhere near the top. So what we've got to do, we've got to, 1, stick together. 2, fight. And probably the most important, which this depicts, we've got to win, Soph. That's the only way you shut them up. It's the only way. So at times where we weren't, this is before that, at times where you weren't the winner, that's what the manager's driving towards. He's always driving towards being a winner, being a winner, being a winner, being a winner. So I understand you never walk alone at training. I don't like it. So I don't like it, but I understand it, because if you want to take them teams down, you've got to be so tough. You've got to be so strong. You've got to have that nasty streak in you, which, as we said, some of the times we've been weak sauce, so over the last 2 years. We've been weak sauce. We showed a little bit more resolve last season, faltered at the end. Now we've got some more players in with that mentality. We can do it. So let's see how we go.
Really well put, Kev. And, you know, it helps me kind of just crank it down a notch. This is why I wanted to have the conversation with you, because I go back to the Graham speeches. You know, Wenger wasn't really a mega speech guy. You know, Graham had, Arteta's got that insane, you know, Spanish passion. It's very similar to us Greeks. We can go a little, we're going to see him like, to me, he seems like a Greek relative when he's throwing tantrums in these clips, by the way. It's nothing new. And I think younger players need that. And you're right. There's a big difference between then and now. But that doesn't mean now, you know, isn't right. So in summary, Kev, for you, because we got to let you go. Everyone's saying that you're spot on, by the way. There was one comment I wanted to put on. Do you think Mikel's playing up to the camera? Because a lot of people said that Pep might have been playing up to the camera. And Lynn also wanted to know, are you bothered by Gabby Agbonlahor taking the piss this morning on TalkSport?
No, listen, I welcome it. I want them all to take the piss, because you know what? You see in that dressing room, make no mistake, the players are going to use it as fuel. That's what we need. We need them to say, Arsenal, look at this, they're a joke. We need that siege mentality, and that comes from the fans as well, by the way. The fans are, you know, look at Mikel playing, you never walk alone. No, try and understand why he's doing it. Try and understand where we're going, because you know what? Everybody's going to come for us. Everyone is. We need to ramp it up. We done okay last season, but we need to ramp it up this season. And this all or nothing, hey, I tell you what, pulls the curtain back and lets us see what was going on last season. I think I can't wait to watch them all, honestly, and I can't wait to see who comes for us, Soph, because you know what? I think this team are going to use it as fuel, big time fuel, to prove the doubters wrong. And listen, Ogbonlahor could say what he likes. Arsenal are a successful football club.
Yeah.
When you are successful, Soph, you're not normal. That's why we, as fans, we battle sometimes because we know what success tastes like. Ogbonlahor could laugh. Does he know what success tastes like?
Hasn't won much, has he?
Well, when you don't win, it's easy to laugh.
Kev, you just said something, and it's a perfect exit for you because Derek Jeter was talking about that on the last episode I watched last night, and I loved it. When they lost when Boston Red Sox became really good, and they lost, the Yankees lost, and everyone's like, oh, well, we just lost one. He's like, no, unacceptable. No, no, no. We do not lose. And this is the DNA and the profile and the culture that I hope is truly changing. But we've got to get the results on the pitch now, Kev. You said you got to take 13 losses into single digits and not have that.
We got to take 13 losses to around about 7. So we need to get points. So let's say we won 4 and drew 3 of the 6 or 7 games, or we drew 3 and won 3. Look at the points tally. Huge difference. That's what we've got to do, Soph. We've got to change that little element of our game, and we're going to be all right.
All right, Kev, we're going to let you go. You've got another engagement that you've got to get to. Brilliant stuff from you. Thanks so much for joining us and giving us the insight beyond the white lines. I think we're up to 200 likes. We've got 450 in live chat right now. I will WhatsApp you after and let you know. So next time you're on, you can crack some skulls.
Crack some skulls. Listen, squaddies, thanks for joining us. Sophie, Super Sophie, thank you very much. Squaddies, look after yourself. Tell your loved ones you love them. And at ease, squaddies. At ease. Kev Campbell, he's out.
See you later, Kev.
See you. Bye now.
Bye. That's thanks to Mr. Super Kevin Campbell, giving us all of his insights as a player going beyond the white lines. I'm going to stay on here for a couple more minutes. We have some housekeeping stuff to take care of, okay? So I've told you about Zenith coins. Now, what I want you guys to do, and thanks to everyone who's listening on replay, thanks to everyone who's listening on Apple, iTunes, and Spotify. We're going to bring you more of these behind the lines conversations with Super Kev, going a bit deeper than we have in other seasons. I wanted to let you know a little bit about the show this season and what we're doing. Monday and Friday will definitely be our staple shows. Monday Madness and Kev Says on Friday. Wednesdays as well will be another staple show, Wednesday Wisdom. But then we're freestyling during the week, depending on our games. And of course, the post-game shows will be with you after most games, definitely the big games this season. So we look forward to that. You guys will always have your say. We can't do this show without you. I wanted to ask you a question to see how you feel about it, because you guys are as much of part of the show as you've ever been asked a lot about watch-alongs. Now, personally, I like watching the game and being able to say all sorts of crap without having a camera in front of me. But a lot of you have written and said, are you going to be doing watch-alongs this season? There's also an opportunity for us to partner with someone on the watch-along front that takes kind of the game experience to another level. And I'd love to know if you guys are interested in doing some watch-alongs. So let's email me, thehighburysquad@gmail.com, thehighburysquad@gmail.com. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments section if you're into that. I've also been asked by a couple of listeners. Demsek has already set one up, bless him. If you guys want to have a Highbury Squad fantasy league. Personally, I do it the first week and the second week, and then I completely forget because I get so busy. But if you guys want to have a Highbury Squad fantasy league, I will share Demsex and we can all get involved and have some fun. And then what we can do is we're going to be definitely sharing more of the merch this season. We want to raise good money for great causes. As you know, the Highbury Squad does not ask for super chats. We don't have memberships. Some people say I'm crazy, but that's what I believe in, and that's what Kev believes in, and that's how we kind of want to do stuff. We've got the Brock the Net collection, t-shirts, mugs. We've got Highbury Squad sweaters, t-shirts, and a lot of the proceeds from that will be going to Gooners v Cancer. It will be going to artists in the Arsenal community as well. So let me know if you want any of that stuff. You're my focus group, watch-alongs, fantasy league. Let me know, thehibburysquad@gmail.com. You can always DM us or let me know in the comments section as well. And also for the watch-alongs, I would like to have you guys with me. I don't want to sit here like this and go, or wait for something to happen. I want it to be conversational, like we're down the pub. I want you guys involved. We can be on screen together. That's how I would like to do it. So again, let me know what you think about that. Staple shows Monday, Wednesday, Friday, spontaneous in between. I did think about not going live every day this season, but when I mentioned that, a lot of people had a go at me. So we're not going to do that. So we will be going live. Some shows might be shorter than others, and we're going to be doing a lot more pre-recorded stuff, in-depth interviews, storytelling. You know, that's one of my favorite things to do is the storytelling part of football, not just doing tactics and all that type of stuff. I'm rubbish at tactics. This is why I have Kev on the show. The tactical squad will be back next week. I will have a pre-game show tomorrow. And of course, we'll be going live for our first post-game show after Crystal Palace. Seems like you guys are all into the watch-along concept and idea. So maybe we'll give it a go and try. And we'll team up with a really great brand that are going places and doing things. And they reached out to me and I thought it was an interesting concept, but I wanted to know what you guys would think about it because I wouldn't do it without you. All right. Let's see. What else do we have? I want to know what you guys think of the clips you've seen on All or Nothing. Tonight, everyone's asking, it releases tomorrow, the 4th of August. So at midnight here in the United States, midnight 01, I will be watching the 3 episodes. I'm supposed to be going to a football match at SoFi Stadium, the house that Stan Kroenke built tonight. It's a double header. LAFC are playing a Mexican team and LA Galaxy are playing a Mexican team. But I may have to get an early night. Who knows? So I can be up to watch All or Nothing as well. That is it for now. If there's anything else that you guys want to talk about this season, you want to see, you guys let me know. You know that we're very open here. We love your ideas. We love you getting involved. And we'll be giving away these really special coins, as I said, throughout the season. They come with a certificate of authenticity. And they're really quite special and they're being made for us. And to have these guys make these for us, and they're the guys that make the Arsenal coins, it's really an honor, to be quite honest with you. I'm so stoked about this partner that we've teamed up with. Comes in a delish box, a little bit like a wedding ring box, girls. So yeah, we're doing all that jazz too. That's it. That's all I've got. Let me see. Where are you based? I can't give my address away. Dun, 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 dun. Guys, it's midnight in the UK. It's midnight here as well. Yes, Dublin Gooner, midnight. And we'll do a review tomorrow, okay? We'll come back at 8 tomorrow and we'll talk about it. And then we can really discuss kind of the content. And we'll do it after all the episodes are released as well. Let's see. So can I pick Casey's brain about Arsenal youth and the cost of play? We can do that. We're actually planning an academy show this season. It was a little bit too much last season. There was a lot going on. So we'll definitely be doing that. We'll have some interesting content on that side too. Make sure I take care of myself. Thank you very much. It's, you know, you guys are my guys, and there's been a lot going on behind the scenes in my life too. And hopefully it will resolve itself. But just know that when you guys send me notes, I like to share with you as well. I've got lots of emails of late, people out there who, you know, sometimes having a great time and want to share it and sometimes not so great. So, you know, I'm always here if you guys want to chat, the HighburySquad@gmail.com. I respond to each and every one of you. If I miss anything, just hit me up and let me know. I don't like it. The other day, I'm so useless at checking. I'm trying to get better. We started a TikTok, by the way. Oh, everyone, go follow us on TikTok. Listen, I'm a dinosaur when it comes to that stuff, but we started a TikTok account, Highbury Squad. Please go follow us on there. And our Instagram account, I'm going to try and be better on there and post content on there this season too, short form stuff. I went and checked the DMs the other day and I was like, oh, I was horrified because there were like DMs from forever ago. And I wrote to someone the other day and said, I'm so sorry. It was like 2 months ago. So I do apologize, right? But we have started a TikTok. We have our Instagram account up. We're going to just try and be more connected in ways with all of you from every single part of the world. And fine, I wave to the Tottenham fan. I swear to God, you're here more than you are on Chris Cowling's show. Danny D and Ethelston. I bet you do listen to us more than you listen to them. Virginia, it was good to see you back as well. Lynn, good to see you. Tammy, thanks so much for tallying up all the likes. What have we ended up with before I go? Because I've got to let Super Kev know. I've got to send him a WhatsApp and let him know how well you did this evening. Until tomorrow, I might go sunbathe a little bit more, Don Juan. What do you think? Got to top up the tan before we go pale for the fall. Gosh, it's almost Christmas. Did I say that out loud? What is TikTok? Exactly. What is TikTok? It's only the biggest social media platform in the world. I've posted a few bits on there, Arsenal related, and some of the stuff I did with Chiellini and Gareth Bale. Forgive me, I do have to post that because I do have to earn a living. And I do interview other players from other teams. I mean, the Gareth Bale thing felt a little dirty, but, you know, had a good shower afterwards. Right. I do need help badly. Email me, the HighburySquad@gmail.com, please. Anyone else who wants to help, let me know. I do it all on my own. I mean, sometimes I don't know how, but I do. Anyway, love you guys very, very much. Thanks so much for hanging out. Brilliant stuff from Super Kev. Get involved in the comment section. If you're listening on replay, let us know what you think so far. Let's talk tomorrow night. We'll see the first 3 episodes. Absolutely cannot wait. Okay. And until then, take care. Lots of love. Have a great night. Have a good sleep. Have a good day, wherever in the world you might be. And I love you.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad. The Highbury Squad is powered by ZENITH Coins. Support the future, treasure the past. Official licence partner of the Arsenal Football Club. Follow @ZENITH Coins across all social platforms.